Video, I'm going to talk about different coverages, mainly the different Temp 2, Cover 2 style coverages, but to start off I'm going to show a couple of plays that I use in different situations, basically just for coverage. You're not going to get a lot of pressure or anything like that. You're just going to cover the field and hopefully force a mistake. So, without any further ado, I like to get into the 3-4 odd because it's pretty evenly aligned. And I go with the pinch dog to press as a base for this. And I'll do this mainly against, people's base offenses, I guess. Let me see something here. You know what? I'm gonna actually put like something like a 3 wide or something. Double tight end works. Let's go with Z spot. All right. One of the first things you should pick up on is the soft squat. It's not a cloud flat and it's not a hard flat, which you'll get when you do a cover 2 hard flat or a Tampa 2. Tampa 2 is the cloud flat, and the cover 2 hard flat, obviously the hard flat. But the soft squat is a little different. It's kind of in between being a cloud and being hard. I like this because it is in perfect place underneath a corner route, if that's what you're dealing with. And it's close enough to run down to the flat if they throw to a flat. But what I like to do is hit my R1 twice, go to circle, put him in a flat zone, hit it again, go to square, put him in a flat zone. So they actually have hard flats, which you can't see because it's overlapping with the soft squat. I like to pinch the defensive line, I like to spread the linebackers out a bit. And this is a pretty good run defense in the middle. You can just run right in, and if it's going outside, obviously bounce it out there. You already got your linebackers there to slow down the edge. But anyway, this pretty much covers everything, except for obviously the deep middle. I shouldn't say this covers everything. This play I did to mainly cover the outside. Like if you got people using a lot of those corner routes, the C routes, the flats, out routes, this play will cover all of that. And I'll run this a few times to show that. I'm going to have the corner route with X. You can see that he's covered, but the middle will be opened. And let me think of some outside routes I can do. Let's just do this. Everything's on the outside. Alright, so real simple. Real quick, I already did it. The linebackers are covering the hard flat. Let's see if I can get any one of these guys open on this play, and you can see everything is covered. There's not a lot of pressure, and eventually the play breaks down. But practice, as you know, doesn't work out the same way it would in real life, especially if you're actually a user roaming around. But the middle of the field is still going to be open. So I came up with something else to deal with the middle of the field. And I'm going to show you this in a nickel formation as well. But there's two. One is a man coverage, which here is cover 1 robber. This was actually out of solid. I want to do this out of odd, just because it's my preference here. I want to go cover 1 hole. It can be basically any cover 1, but I'm going to use cover 1 hole as an example here. And then I'm going to pick a play that attacks the middle of the field, like wide receiver post. Alright, so there's 3 routes going over the middle here. but it's man coverage. So the only thing I'm going to do is it's going to look a lot like the other play, except this looks like a cover 3, is I'm going to put this blitzing outside linebacker on the right of screen into a hook zone, and the middle of the field should be well covered because the people who are going over have a man on them, and there's going to be 2 people underneath and 1 over the top, so everything over the middle is covered. And whoops, I accidentally hit blitz. How the hell did I manage that? Alright, gotta man him up. I manned him up on the wrong guy. On X, man him up on triangle. So here, everybody got a man on him, plus you got a couple zones, and like I said before, this is not meant to get pressure, it's just meant to cover, to get them to out of their comfort zone. So I'll run this, and I might even put Hopkins might actually get open on this, but this is if somebody's just attacking the middle of the field and they think that you're just constantly covering the outside. And you can see that I can't really get anybody. That one was just, hey, I'll risk it. But everybody else had at least 2 people around them. It's real simple. All I really do, I don't have to make any other shifts. All I gotta do is put that blitzing guy into a hook zone, and the middle of the field is pretty much covered. But we got that guy, for some reason, miscommunication or something there. But the middle of the field, you can see there, is covered very easily, and I'll show you another version that's actually a zone. If you go to like let's say cover 3 sky, we'll do the same play that attacks the middle here. So you already got those guys over the middle there, but I'm gonna run it as is, and you'll see that it doesn't quite work the way you want it to. Oops, got the defensive controller here. Yeah, I guess it worked the same. Usually what I'll do is, get to the screen here, is I will again take this guy and I'll put him into a different zone, whether hook zone, but usually like a curl flat. Probably should have done that second, because I cover the flats too, and then put him into a curl flat, so that area will be covered. And if you want to take the user where there's less receivers and just run over to the sideline if you have to, because there's only one guy there, Hopkins over there, but mainly trying to take away the middle of the field with this play, which you can see here will work, and maybe be able to get it in to the sideline with a nice pass, nice catch. Probably be even more effective if I put another hook zone there. I want to go hard flat so that if you wanted to, you could run over to the sideline on this side. So we'll do that again, and ooh, still got pressure. I was seeing if that R1 was open, but anyway, I like the man version. I was just showing you the zone version if you wanted to. You just mainly like using zones, because now and then, like that C route will kill man every time. But anyway, I'm gonna go into nickel and show you. You can do the same thing real easy, such as 3 Sam Will blitz, and we'll spread this out in a shotgun. Yeah, let's just something that's attacking the outside, so I'll do the Texans out. So hard flat and zone all linebackers. It's pretty much the same thing. This works really good in the red zone. Got a lot of the area of the field covered. And for this play, it was mainly just to get the outsides. If you have that much time to throw, you're bound to find somebody open, but if you're in the red zone, that play isn't going to happen. They don't have that much room to run. But you can also do the opposite. Like if you wanted to get the complete outside in the flats, instead of zoning all linebackers, you just do what I did with that other play, out of the 3-4 formation. I do hard flats with the linebackers, so the whole outside of the field is covered. So let's say it's the end of the game and you don't want them thrown to the outside, you want them thrown over the middle so that you can either hit them or tackle them and get the clock running. This is a good play to use. And the outsides are incredibly covered, except if you have a lot of time, you'll get something over the middle if that's where they're throwing. But then again, this play you can use to do the same concept that I was using before of covering the middle of the field. Let's see if I can audible here to play slants. That's the middle of the field. We'll even put him on a seam route here. So the whole middle of the field. Let's see how well this holds up. Oh. I got somebody, but there's always somebody right there to tackle him. I wish you could just do something real quick to put this guy just to zone the middle, but you can just re-hook zone him so that he stays right over the middle. I probably should have shown you that in the beginning, but slipped my mind. Let's do the slants again. And everything... Somebody's not disciplined staying in their zone. That's the one thing about not getting a lot of pressure, is that sometimes the coverage just breaks down. But these are things I usually do inside the red zone, because in the red zone sometimes it's like heavy blitzing and then switch it up with just heavy coverage, and hopefully you get them thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna get hit, I gotta throw this, but everybody's covered and they make a mistake. And it works pretty good in the red zone, breaking up a lot of passes or getting interceptions, but you gotta make sure you've already stopped the guy's running game and done some blitzing so that he feels like he needs to get rid of the ball. Because if somebody's using a mobile quarterback like Marcus Mariotti, even Andrew Luck gets a little mobility, Russell Wilson, Teddy Bridgewater, somebody they can move around with, they might make something happen. But you can always spread out your line and put them in a quarterback contain. That can help out. But yeah, after that, I guess I'll show you the different zone coverages for the cover 2 style. Let's just do out of the 2-4-5. Alright, I'm going to start with... I'm going to go with the cover 2 sink, because I think this is the soft squat. And just this quick play here. And you can see, yep, the cover 2 sink is the soft squat. So this is where your corners are going to play not quite cloud, not quite hard flat, somewhere in between. So it's going to give you a little middle ground here where you can jump either one. Like I'll show here. The flats still get open pretty well. Sometimes they jump to the flats real quick when you're hoping they're dropping back to get a corner route or something, it doesn't always work out the way you want it to. But I will do coverage underneath, turn it into a hard flat, which would basically be the cover 2 hard flat. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. And I'll show you that little out route right there, a little more contested. And then if I want to make it into a tamper 2, you just cover over the top, and now they're doing a cloud. It might not do the same bump and run they do for a cover 2, but we'll check. Let's put Hopkins and Fuller on a streak, because usually on the tamper 2, they will bump the receivers inside so that they get closer to the safeties. So you get some safety help. But this is going to leave your flats wide open. So let's run this and see. Alright, the coverage worked. They pushed them both to the inside. Hopkins still almost made a great catch. You can see how the cloud will help out with the corner routes. Helps with the streaks if you're doing a Tampa 2 style. But your flats are going to be wide open. If you wanted to go nuts and just have no pressure whatsoever, you could just put your linebackers in hard flats there. But I think I messed this up because I want to go a cloud, but then put my linebackers into hard flats so that the middle of the field, there's only 2 men rushing, so I'm going to spread them out and edge rush them, and hopefully they make something happen. Either one of these guys could beat a double team, but you know, don't count on that. So let's just go deep, and we have 2 people going underneath, so let's see if any one of these can get open. And I could have risked it trying to throw to square or circle, but that's just I guess a 50-50 ball. Let's go with the cloud flat again. Let's see if I can do that. Let's try. Oh, I forgot to put him in a streak. And oops, over the top coverage. I should funnel him inside to the safety. Oh, see. Oh no, that was a 4-man rush. I thought I got sacked on a 2-man rush. Embarrassing for the Texans line. Alright. I'm gonna ignore the flats to see if I can. I guess if you get a good receiver, you might be able to sneak something in there. But I also have really shitty safeties out there. Lonnie Ballentine and KJ Dillon, so they don't really help out too much. But anyway, that's just describing a couple of the coverages. I guess there's one last thing I can do to make this a nice 20-minute video, is to show people who just aren't aware of it that a simple cover 3, like cover 3 sky, is a good run defense, and a cover 4. So what I'm going to do is hope that I have an audible for a cover 4. Let's say they're going to run out of a 3 wide set, because when you do a cover 3 or a cover 1, you can see that the strong safety here comes into the box. So you got 8 men down here, and it really helps out as you look at the run fits. Oh, it's not showing. Usually the red box, you'll see that everybody's on somebody. But this works real good if you're worried about them getting on the outside. You can just press, keep mixing up with the controllers. But I would also base a line and then press, because you see how the corner Johnson on the far, dang it, far left here, he just bumped right on the Hopkins. But if you wanted to cover the outside, base a line and then press. So he's going to be tight down here if they're going to bounce it out. And this is a decent run defense. Probably could have cut that to the left a little bit and shook him, but hopefully I got an audible here for cover 4, which I do not. So I'll do that real quick. And this is a good run defense if they're running to the outside, which you would think it's not, but it's actually decent. You think oh, this is what you're going to do if you want to cover deep. But I also put the guy in a hard flat to try to help. Let's do the same thing here. Do I got to run on the outside with this? Alright, let's do a stretch. And we'll press because we're worried about the outside run. And you'll see how they react. The corner stays out there and everything. It actually works pretty good. I might make some tiny adjustments or whatever, but you're just looking for something simple where you got coverage, but you're also playing the run. Cover 4 and cover 3 help out a lot. But anyway, that is that. Just some simple coverage shit and help you out. Hopefully this transfers over to Madden 18 when that comes out. But until then, good luck to you.